often than not, you find yourself in some of the most interesting places. And I found myself in one. This is Riverside, New Jersey, which is a stop on the RiverLine. You can tell from my B-roll that I just got off the train from Trenton, took the RiverLine, and I'm gonna take a look at this town. I haven't been around here in a while. I drove through here a few times, but I haven't been around here in a long time. So yeah, let's have some fun. Okay, so this is kind of like the center of town going in. Ooh, now that's cool. They have a little thing. That used to be, I guess, an old train station stop. Let me take a look at it. That is, if I can get through. Because there's a turning lane right here, and I see a few cars coming this way. Thank you. Nice guy from Jersey was like, hey, get across, lady. Told you, I love New Jersey. I am originally from southern New Jersey. In fact, my parents lived around here when I was born. We actually lived the town over Delran, which is just down the road. It's very close. But I wanted to look at this real quick. This would be a nice thing to go through sometime. But it's the Historical Riverside Society. I don't think they're open, but... well, there is a person in here. But yeah, it's real nice. Gotta take my one earbud out. I had my earbuds in case anybody called me while I was on the train, but look at that. I'm gonna take a look inside here. So I'll be back. That is childhood right there. That was actually kind of cool, that little thing. Now, the lady was telling me that there is something they're doing on Memorial Day, which is the last Monday of the month. So I might come by and check it out. I just talked to my dad because here's my connection to this area. I know I bill myself as a Jersey girl living in Pennsylvania, both on YouTube and on all my social media. So here's the story. I was born in Burlington County Memorial Hospital. It's now called Virtua Mount Holly, it is, I think. And that's in Mount Holly, New Jersey. And my parents were living in Delran at the time I was born. And they moved to Bucks County, Pennsylvania when I was about 4 years old. So I've lived in Bucks County ever since. But I always find myself coming back to New Jersey. I love New Jersey, actually. So, police station, their municipal building. Looks like they have their courthouse in here too, which is kind of cool because I live in a pretty small town, and like our police station, our fire, and one of our fire stations are put in together, and then like our courthouse is a couple blocks away. Of course, they have a little mini library. Now, also, interesting thing is there's a lot with the name Zerberg around here. And the reason why is because Zerberg was like a very prominent family in the area. In fact, the patriarch of the family, he built a lot with Riverside. And so he built a lot with Riverside with his watch company. There was actually a hospital in this area. It was Zerberg Hospital. And, you know, so, yeah, rats. I thought I was going to get across Pavilion Avenue, you know, the other way, but not. Damn. But that's okay. And, you know, I love it here. I come back here whenever I get a chance. Like, today I took the RiverLine because I knew that my father was going to be running some errands and all. Oh, this is their post office, which kind of neat how a lot of the small towns have, like, the post offices like this. I've noticed it. Look at my Bristol video if you don't believe me. But anyway, so Zerberg, he made a lot of things big in this town. And he came up with, you know, he set money aside for this hospital. And, you know, Zerberg Hospital is no more, actually. I think it was absorbed a couple times over and ended up in Virtuous System some way. But I forgot the exact story because I learned a lot of this growing up. In fact, it's funny because I know a lot more than that. This is funny. Adult Wellness and Cafe. And it's just a vape den. So hey, you want to get your vape on? I can't help it. But yeah, it's like their main drag. It's still kind of gorgeous here. I come around here every now and then. You know, I still have a lot of family in the area. My cousins live in Hainesport, which isn't too far from here. That's closer to Mount Holly. And, you know, I had an aunt who lived in Mount Laurel for a while, but she but she moved to Florida. And so she moved to Central Florida recently, so I don't have her around. But you know, my dad and I, we come around here because, well, we love it. In fact, we always tell ourselves that if we could, we would move back to New Jersey in a heartbeat. In fact, sometimes, because I was getting all these crazy calls from people, sometimes I just wanted to change my phone number to a New Jersey number just to confuse the hell out of everybody. This must be that place that lady told me about. Yeah, so see, there's you can see like a lot of the old buildings, how they kept the structural integrity with the facades, which I love. And you know, it's one of those cool things that very few people look into. And of course, the 856, holla! Sorry, you could take the girl out of Jersey, but you can't take Jersey out of the girl. That's all I'm saying, kids. We got a little market in here, a little American Spanish market. Now, if you come around here, a lot of different places, and you saw it when I was in the Historical Society, but because they were so nice to me, they were like, oh, sure, look around. And, you know, you'll see a lot of little shops. Like if you go into the shops, like little markets, and even some of the smaller convenience stores. Although, what do you guys call them? Do you call them convenience stores? Bodegas? What do you call them? Let me know in the comments. Then they got oh, this must be a little church. But anyway. What was I saying? Oh. Before I go any further, I'm going to look over here because this is kind of cool. In my Burlington video, I saw an old bank. I actually saw a couple old banks, so this is interesting. Things up for real estate auction, by the way, so if you want to buy it, there you go. But here's their old drive-up window. And then you got your little thing where you would get your tube. It shoots up. It's a pneumatic tube, and it would shoot up into the window. I know this because I've gone through the drive-through a couple times at my own bank. Right around there is, I think, where Zurberg Hospital used to be, around that area. I'm right near the RiverLine, by the way. So it looks like you would go in here, through this way, go there. Oh my God. There's no little thing, but look at this inside. Somebody put some trash in there, but the little tube would be here. You'd pull it out, put like whatever you were going to deposit, a withdrawal slip, stick it here, hit this button, it would send it up the chute into there. Now, some banks have it where you could see the length of the tube. So you could actually follow the tube. I used to do that all the time. And it would just go in there, teller would do her business or his business. And if they wanted to talk to you, they would talk to you through this. You could always hit this little red button and it would call in there, and you could say to them like, hey, like if, let's say you're withdrawing something, be like, hey, I want this in this amount. And then of course, the night deposit box. And then this is the front of it. It's kind of a shame that we can't see inside of it, but online bidding, so just so y'all know. But yeah, now if I have it right, because my bank back in Bucks County is the same way. These offices, these would be offices, and then this big part right here would be the bank. You know, I'm doing this and it's drizzling. This shows you how dedicated I am, people. Okay. Now, that right there is the watch case tower. I think I'm gonna look at that a little later, because I want to try to see if I can cross the bridge over a little later in this. I'll probably do another video where I'll cross over and take a look at the other side of this, because the Chamonix Creek kind of divides everything. So yeah, but of course, interesting thing with the watch case tower is they have tried on several occasions to do something with it. My father actually had a job in, I think, the 1980s, where they were going to try and make that into like condos and offices and God knows what else. And it never happened, obviously. And I know there's been articles going as far back as 2019 that they've been trying to do stuff with the watch case tower. So, yeah. Interesting thing to point out to y'all. So, of course, the watch case tower was the big thing that brought a lot of business into this area. And so down this way is a parking lot. Neil, y'all can go ahead. So down this way I know is a parking lot, but if I remember, because now it's a New Jersey Transit parking lot, but if I remember from when I came around here a lot with my dad, because my parents had friends who lived around here. In fact, one of his old friends lived in Delran. Now, if I remember right where the New Jersey Transit parking lot, or the RiverLine. Oh, there's another one coming in. The New Jersey Transit thing for the parking lot, if I am not mistaken, this is where, like, Riverside Zurberg Hospital used to be years ago. And then, of course, they moved it around so much. I remember there was a Zurberg Memorial Hospital right around where... And now, if you're from South Jersey, you know what I'm talking about. But Lourdes Hospital in Willingboro, that's where I'm talking about. So I think this is where it used to be, if I am not mistaken. And then, of course, all that. I didn't want to really video near the watch case tower first because I saw like a work van there and I was almost nervous because I heard that they're trying to do stuff with it, but they've been trying to do stuff with it since probably even before the 80s and 90s. Because my father, he was supposed to do a job there, I think in the 80s or so. late 80s, early 90s, I think. But yeah, and that's pretty high up. I remember when I was a kid and my dad did that job. I went all the way up to the top. Yeah, you can hear people. You can hear some workmen back there. Either workmen or people stealing copper. I don't know. God, I hope it's workmen, because that is a great building. I wish they would rehab it and make it into something nice. You know, I was just thinking it because I saw this. This is Zerberg Way. I just saw this sign and I was just thinking about something. And that's, you know, I live in Pennsylvania now. And they, you know, it's like everybody says with Pennsylvania to have it where, you know, to tell that you're from Pennsylvania, you could pronounce certain things like Schuylkill, Conshohocken. And Conshohocken is actually a town outside of Philly. I've been there. They have an IKEA. And, you know, so they tell you, oh, if you can pronounce these things, you are from Pennsylvania. Now, I'm from Jersey originally, but I can pronounce Schuylkill and Conshohocken. Yeah, you can see the old sign for that bank that I showed y'all. Because that had to be, because I can see the thing where it's faded that says drive up window. But anyway, so I'm like, you know what? Schuylkill, Conshohocken, come to Jersey and pronounce Zerberg. Yeah, I can see it says drive through window. So yeah. But yeah, I always found that hilarious when people would do that. Now, there's a Brazilian restaurant here. There's a lot of Latinos here now, which is nice. Kind of reminds me of Bristol. And, you know, if you go to Bristol and, you know, in the summertime, there is like all these huge cultural festivals, and there's a big Latino festival. So definitely check that out. Little liquor store. It's funny because I was coming down here once with my dad, and the name of that is Jack's Liquors. My dad, his nickname is Jack. And I said to him, hey, you got a liquor store named after you. Actually, it was, I didn't know you had a liquor store, Dad. Anyway, I was trying to say this, and then I got sidetracked. There's another interesting thing in this area. And there were things in the museum that I showed y'all. It's for little drink called Take a Boost, or Boost. They call it Boost now, but I always call it Take a Boost because that's what we called it when I was growing up. So, yeah, Take a Boost is kind of the big drink around here. And they sell the nectar. They sell the syrup, the nectar for it, or however you want to call it. And you basically just mix it with water. I buy a jug of it every time I come to Jersey. And, you know, the reason why I do it is because I love that shit. But every time I come here, I always buy a jug of it. And so Take a Boost, you know, it's kind of an interesting thing. Like when I was growing up, I know like kids would get it, like toddlers would get it, like their sippy cups, the baby bottles. So, but they also have a frozen slushy form, which I tried. This was, back when this is like a while back. When was it? This was like maybe, I'm going to say last summer. I went to a little mini mart in Levittown, and it was one of those little indie mom and pop ones. And here they had the slushy, and it was Boost. I go and I try it, and the guy says to me, "Oh, you know what that is?" And I said, "Dude, I'm originally from New Jersey, and the part of Jersey I'm from is where it is." Oh, they got it over there. You know my inner child screaming right now.
A do, a do ba do ba do, a do ba do ba do do do. A do ba do ba do, a do ba do ba do ba do ba do. A do ba do ba do, a do ba do.